A car show in Odessa, and it was pretty crazy. South Park Mexican was out there and he performed, and they were doing a car show. They performed and they were doing an after party. Well, we thought they were doing an after party, so we're like, you know what, we gonna do an after party too at the hotel. So we told everybody about it, and then we found out that the after party theirs was the next weekend. So everybody ended up going to our after party, and there was all these people in there, and we were just getting crazy. Everybody was drinking and smoking, and then the cops showed up. And then
Party poopers.
but we were underage at the time, so the cops were like, everybody under 21, get out. So we all pile out. There's just two girls that are over 21, and they're looking at us. We're walking out there like, y'all ain't even 21. They were like,
Like, oh, yeah. Noted. We're gonna talk about this when this interview ends.
you wanted beef? Now I got beef with my girl.
We're getting somewhere now. She gonna hit me up next week. Hey, I want to come on the show, clear some things up about.
I gotta say.
I was not one of those two girls left there. So you mentioned working on the video with Lil Flip, man. That's a Texas legend, not
Yeah.
just a Houston legend.
And the thing is, he was real cool too. Like, I don't know, sometimes people be having big egos, and he was real cool and humble and showed
Yeah.
love. Shout out to my boy Smooth Vega because he got that
Yeah.
got that hooked up for me.
We're just talking about Smooth Vega. All the people he knows, man. He makes a lot of this shit happen.
Yeah, man.
So working with Flip, you also say you work with Tum Tum because you grew up looking up to them.
hmm
What has been your favorite feature that you've had on your album? Constantly putting you on the spot to leave somebody out. You see that?
Man, that one I did with MC8, that was epic, man. I didn't think I'd ever do a track with him. That was dope. I mean, growing up, I watched Menace to Society every day,
Yeah.
and to sit there and do a song with him. And when I was sitting there watching him as a kid all the time, I mean, doing the track with Baby Bash, that was cool back in the day. And not only that, for him to feature us on his album, that was cool.
What was his album? The one that had like the Grand Theft Auto cover.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I remember that track. Oh yeah, I was on there.
Yeah, the track was on my side of town.
Yeah.
Lucky was on the hook, and Uchi did a verse. It was us and I-35 Boys.
We'll put the cover. The cover's gonna be right there. Y'all gonna
Ultimate
see it.
Cartel.
Ultimate Cartel.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then he put on the Menage a Trois album too.
Yeah. That was a dope album and a dope track.
Yeah.
So I mean, it has to be dope to be able to, like I said, not just feature these artists, not just work with them, but to be able to get the same love back in return. Especially with names like you just mentioned, like Flip. When you're an independent artist or an up and coming artist, and you think of Flip or you think of Baby Bash, you don't think of them as being as humble as they really are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just ran into Bash at the Day of Unity event, and we were just chilling. We're actually eating, and he's walking by, and I just yell out, "Hey, Bash, let me get a drop." He legit stopped what he was doing. He's like, "I got you."
Oh, really?
Stopped what he was doing, went out of his way, and so to hear these stories of him giving you advice, and then other people that tell us stories.
That's what made us want to work with him, because we'd always see him at the car shows, and he was always humble, man. He'd always be
Yeah.
like, "What's up, lad, embassy?" Because we'd be wearing the Dobbs hats, and
Yeah.
so he'd always shout us out. We're like, "What's up, bro?" So that's what made us want to work with him, because he was always cool. If you cool with people that you never know what, like you say, you don't want to burn bridges.
Yeah. What are some of and the reason I was saying that is because what are some of these new artists that you would like to help or would like to be featured on their music or vice versa, or
Well, there's,
just artists that are slept on, period, in your opinion?
Man, I like those dudes, South Made Crooks. They coming out the Southeast. Them boys go real hard. Hoffa, you heard of Hoffa?
No, I haven't.
Man, that boy cold. Music Corruption, he real cold. Space City Lords, I work a lot with them. Man, there's so much talent out there. I got a new track with Young Yeezy, Stuck in My Ways.
Yeah.
And I got Ronetta Spencer on the hook, Ronnie Spencer's daughter,
Yeah.
and I got her on the hook. I mean, there's a lot of people out there. HTG Miklo, I think he goes pretty hard. A lot of talent in the city, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. There's a lot of artists that are being slept on. Who are some of the artists that you would like to work with? Like as far as not just independent artists, but just period. That
Man, my ultimate is Zero. That's the goal, man. I got to do a track with Zero before it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Want to do a track with Master P one day? That would be dope.
That would be dope. There's this young dude. It's crazy. I'll just tell you the story later off camera. Remind me. I don't want to talk about it on camera, but I'll just tell you about it later.
All right. Fat Joe, I definitely would love to do one with him, as far as all said and done too.
Fat Joe, yes. I remember when Fat Joe did that track with Shut 'Em Down.
Yeah.
I thought that was dope as shit because you never think
he did that one with SPM.
Yeah, yeah. And you never think of these Texas artists to be able to link up with, New York, the fucking East Coast. So let's talk about your music. Let's get a little bit more into your music.
All right.
Before Stuck in My Ways, like I said, you released the album cover, the EP cover.
Mm-hmm. Coming out December 31st.
December 31st. So that's coming out at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into that, let's talk about Texas OG. That was your latest project that's available on all streaming services right now.
Mm-hmm.
First, that's a dope-ass cover.
Appreciate
Very catchy. Like, from the cover alone makes you want to listen to it. It's just a catchy cover.
Appreciate it. So, 713 Inc. did that.
713 Inc. did it? Yeah, that's a dope ass fucking cover, man. I can't even say that enough. So Texas OG came out about 2 months ago?
Came out August 28th on my birthday.
So about three months ago.
Yeah.
You get it. I'm like, you get it. Around that time. So that's your most recent project. Once again, it's available on all streaming services. We'll have the link to Spotify and we'll have the link to Apple Music on the description of the podcast. Talk to us about that project. How long did it get that project done?
I started on it about January and until August. I actually was gonna make it shorter, but I just started feeling it, so I kept on doing songs, and got it wrapped up. But I had a lot of fun working on it. Really, it's like my actual first album. I mean, I've done solo albums because I've done albums with Latin MC, and I've done lots of mixtapes, but I've never put out like an actual album.
So, talk to us about the features that you have on there, and what can people expect when they hear this album?
Versatility, man. That's one of the main things that people are saying. Like, there's so many different moods on there. When you're in this mood, you can listen to this song. When you're in this mood, you can listen to this song. That's one thing I've always tried to be, is very versatile.
Yeah.
Because I go through a lot of moods. I'm changed from day to day. Sometimes I'm in a hustler mood. Sometimes I'm sex my girl up mood. Sometimes I'm in a serious mood. So
yeah.
I got Tum Tum on there, Lil Flip, MC8, SA Partner on there. I got my boys Braze 1 and Vago on there. I got C Walker on there, Molly Blanco. I got a lot of features on there. DJ Red screwed and chopped a couple tracks. I got Little Cool, Mexican Key, and Aaron. Whole bunch of features, man. I love collaborating.
The track with Tum Tum, that's a dope ass track.
I really appreciate it.
Like, I like all your other tracks. The Flip track is cool, but the one with Tum Tum, for some reason, that was just
already. Yeah, my boy DJ Lil Sprite, he did the beat.
Yeah,
that was a sick beat. I heard it. I was like, bro, I gotta have that beat. He's like, all right, bet.
Man, like when we're starting the podcast and you send that to us, we were trying to air out The Underdog. I remember I told my girl, I was like, look at these cool ass people asking, can you play my music, blah blah blah, and then we get your email, and I was like, he's asking us if we don't mind paying his music, like, dude, I like your music. Like, why would I not play it? And then I'm like, and he got Tum Tum on here, so I started playing it. And my girl's like, so are you going to reply to him? I was like, hey, yeah, I'm going to reply to him. I'm like, this is people that, like I've had Filetto on here, Shadow, and I always tell y'all, like, this is people that I listen to. It's not just, I'm not just interviewing you just for shits and giggles. Like, it's music that I listen to. So
I always try to be humble, man. I ain't going to be on no bullshit like, hey, play my music, because I'm gonna be respectful.
But see, that's what I expect. That's what I expected. That's what I expected. So when we got the email, I was like, man, what do you mean? Do we like, hell yeah, we're gonna show you love.
I appreciate that, man.
Like,
for
that's
real. That's why anything you need, man, I'm here.
Already, man, we appreciate that.
Because when you played that beat and you're like, who wants to jump on this? I was one of the first people. I got you.
I gotta send you that. I'm gonna show you the whole beat here in a sec. I think I uploaded it on here. I don't remember. But yeah, so Texas OG came out. We just talked about how you're about to release Stuck in My Own Ways. Before we talk about Stuck in My Ways, let's talk about the short period of between you release your last project, which we just said it was August, for 4 months. I don't even know the right math. We just talked about this, but it was like 4 month difference. What's helping you push so much music to be able to come up with so much content?
Man, just and the thing I almost lost it. Like last year was terrible for me. I hit rock bottom. I got divorced. I lost my house, and it was just a rough year. Um, and this year I've just been coming back up, and just that hunger, man. To think that I almost lost my music, and
Yeah,
I didn't even think I was gonna ever be in a booth again.
yeah,
And I got so much to prove. Like I don't feel I've ever got to the level that I deserve to be at, because I've never been consistent enough. So that's what I'm trying to change. I'm trying to be consistent now, constantly be dropping stuff because I make good music. I will be cocky on that. I know I make good music.
yeah.
So I should be at a certain level. So I'm gonna keep on pushing until I get to that level. And if I don't get to that level, then I'm gonna help somebody else get to that level.
Consistency is a big factor.
Yeah.
Big factor,
And
man.
I've been in and out the game a lot because problems with this, problems with that. But I'm just gonna keep on dropping until I can't.
Yeah. So let's talk about. All right. So you talk about being consistent. Another thing that I feel is very important in the industry right now is, how many tracks did you have on Texas OG? It was
I think 16.
like 16 tracks, right?
Yeah.
All right. So how many tracks are you gonna put on Stuck in My Ways?
That's EP, so I got 6 on there.
6.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm asking you that to ask you this: the way people's attention span is nowadays, why didn't you take the route of doing 6 tracks on Texas OG as well?
Cause it was kind of like I said, my first album. I was just feeling it. That was the first intentions. I was gonna just put out like 10 songs, but I started doing features, and I wanted to work with this person. I had this beat in the vault that I wanted to work on. So, I mean, I just do it till I feel it's done.
Yeah.
And I wanted to keep on perfecting it, but if you keep on doing that, it's gonna take you forever to drop the album. So I was like,
2022,
yeah.
and you're still working on Texas OG. Yeah.
I was like, that's it, man. It's done.
So, moving forward, should we expect more of these full-length albums, or should we expect?
Probably about EPs and 10-song albums. I'm working on a group album with Lil Cool right now. I'm doing all the verses. He's doing all the hooks. And we got about 10 songs. It was started out as an EP, but we started feeling it, so we did about 10 songs. And I was going to release that this month, but I didn't get it finished, so that's why I put out the EP.
Yeah.
Just
See,
to
that's a
hold
lot of
everybody
content.
by.
Again, because
Staying busy, man. Staying busy.
Obviously, you're not recording this overnight, but the fact that you put out Texas OG, fast forward 5 months later, you're about to drop Stuck in My Ways, and you just mentioned you have a project with Lil Cool as well, and that's gonna be another 10 tracks. You say.
Trying to think ahead, man. I'm trying to work on one album, plan the next one, start working on that, because people's attention spans are so short now. So I'm just trying to keep dropping, keep my name around, keep people sharing content.
And you have to do that, and you have to do that because I remember back in my days, when I was in high school back in the day, I remember SPM would drop an album, and you could go a whole year and Wiggy Wiggy was still hot.
Yeah.
Now,
it ain't like that anymore.
Your track might be hot for 2-3 months. Now, what's the new wave? What's the new artist that drops something?
I think like Cardi B, that's one of the last songs that just lasted like all summer.
Yeah. Well, no, they had that one song on the radio, that Hot Girl Summer track this year.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even
Well,
know
but that wasn't...
What artist is that? I don't even know.
I don't know. I don't even... Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh,
I don't even
her?
listen to radio anymore, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I just know because it was popping up all over my Twitter.
Yeah.
And I was like, so with this
Yeah,
Hot
that
Girl
was definitely a
Summer track.
movement, man. She definitely did that. That was good marketing.
All right, so I talked about this with another artist, Drastical, actually.
Shout out to Drastico.
Shout out to my boy Drastical, man. His interview, by the time you listen to this interview, it's probably already out. I don't know. We don't have a set schedule with the way this interview's drop.
Just drop what we feel
Yeah,
like
it just comes out every Monday, every Wednesday. That's what we know.
Oh, really?
But I asked him the same question. So you have a certain style of music. You know what? Before I ask you that, how would you describe your style?
Texas.
Texas? All right.
Underground Texas.
But it has a certain feel to it.
Yeah.
If an A&R came to you tomorrow and tells you, I I want you to drop Hot Boy Summer next summer. And this is the way I want you to do it. Like, we're about to have you mumbling on this beat and just say a whole bunch of nonsense. I don't even know if that's what happened on Hot Girl Summer because I've never heard the
Yeah.
song. So this is a disclaimer. I'm not saying that song is mumbling or that it's trash or anything like that. But if somebody came up to you and told you that, would you change your style for that?
No.
Why or why not?
I mean, I can't change my style. I am who I am. I mean, that's why I've never got to a certain level because I'm so hard-headed. I'm stuck in my ways. That's what this whole EP is about. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I don't. When I was coming up in the rap game, I looked up to all these people, and then I started seeing these people and seeing how they were really living and stuff like that. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna go get me a job, and I'm gonna work, and then I'm gonna put my music on the side and invest in it on my own because I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Under your own terms.
Yeah, on my own terms. 100% independent.
Going-
Everything I've done has come out of my pocket, my money, my investment. Nobody invests in me, so I do what I want.
Yeah. What they say, whoever puts the money. What's that saying? I seen it, and they're like, whoever puts the money up is the one that runs the show. So yeah, you coming out of pocket, you're the one that decides how you what.
I grew
role-
up watching Master P and Cash Money, the Dope House, and I like independence. I like seeing people do shit on their own. I don't
Yeah.
like seeing the record label telling you what to do. I've always rapped about that, being independent and underground.
Yeah. So what has been your biggest struggle as a independent artist?
Not having enough money. Not having that big backing.
Yeah.
Not getting major radio plays, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Getting my music out to the masses because it's all out of my own pocket. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you got bills you got to pay. You got kids you got to take care of. You got priorities. So.
Kids are an inconvenience. He's like, no comment.
Nah, but you gotta love them, man. That's your heart.
Yeah.
I mean, they save your life. I was doing a lot of stupid shit before I had kids. That slowed me down.
Yeah.
So.
You know what? Let's talk about that before we keep talking about music. How exactly do you feel like that changed your life?
Man, just like I said, it slowed me down a lot because I was doing a lot of dumb shit before I had kids. A lot of shit I could have had me killed or like I was
Being
doing
a Texas OG.
Yeah, I was doing stupid shit for real.
Yeah.
And once you have kids, you have responsibility. So, I mean, when I had my first son, that's when the movie Blow came out, and then I saw how it ended, and it really hit me hard because I was like, man, I don't want my kids seeing me in prison.
Yeah.
So, I started to slowly change, which is hard. Living that life is an addiction, just like being on drugs is an addiction, but you got to figure out what your priorities are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
having
prioritize.
kids, that's your priority. So you want to be there for them, you want to take care of them, you want to raise them the right way.
There's a Ghetto Boys track where can't remember whose verse it is. They talk about once you give life, that life becomes bigger than yours. And I don't have kids, but that line has always stuck there. Like,
Yeah.
once you give life, that life is bigger than yours.
Real
Like
talk.
it's
Because
and
you got to protect them. There's a little baby that came from you, and you got to protect them.
yeah, because I mean
You got to
even,
provide for them,
even
feed
up
them.
to now, me being 32, I could be 40. To my mom and my dad, I'm still their fucking baby.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they always talk about it like they say it in Spanish. Mi hijo el más chiquito, and I was like, I'm taller than y'all. I'm 32. What are you talking about?
Yep.
You know what I mean? But it's like you said, it gives you a responsibility.